Gonna need those. So we caught lightning in a bottle a couple years ago, so we gotta, change the expectations a little bit for our group here. Oh, that's probably the wrong slide. It's from a couple years ago. Oh, that one too. Really PCBS has given us a valuable commodity for ourselves, for all of us here. And as we finish here today, we have an extended weekend, and then we'll go back to work on Tuesday. Some staying here for the rest of the weekend, some leaving right away. In fact, when Mike Trigg from Union Bank comes across, he's going to be dragging his suitcase, I believe. Grab his diploma and he's gone. But we have a challenge or a problem, something that Dave was just talking about, is work will be waiting for us. We're going to see this. Our emails have ballooned, and we may be quickly overwhelmed. This situation makes it easiest for us to fall into our older patterns and to crush our growing opportunities. So my message today is to ask each of you, including myself, to commit to applying and growing with the skills or experiences we've had here at PCBS. Don't be the same you that left home 2 weeks ago or even started this program in 2016. Anyone that took the presentation classes is probably already counting my ums, but that's all right. But take a guess at how many points I have today. How many points? 3. Weren't you guys paying attention? I have 3 points. So I'd like to talk about 3 things. I want to talk about our skills, I want to talk about networking, and I want to talk about support. And I'm going to ask for a commitment from each of us before we leave today. When I say skills, I oversimplify it. I think about hard skills and soft skills. In my experience, some of us have a natural tendency to be better at one or the other. And for me, it's soft skills. If you looked at the Myers-Briggs, I don't think any of you are going to be surprised that I'm definitely an extrovert. I get power and energy from groups, from collaboration. Those are the things that I really enjoy. I've got soft skills down pretty well, I think. Hard skills are a little different for me. I can remember being in Cole's class the first year, and I was a little overwhelmed. I can do math. I can do math. But it just doesn't come to me in my experiences to do the analysis that we all have to do in that class. I can remember sitting there in the first few days, and I'm going to have to read this, but he might have said something that everyone that does financial analysis completely understood, and it was just easy. I can swear to you he was using a different language. Here's what happened to me. I heard, is it sources or mix? Remember, you have the tectonic numeral prime derivative. Be sure to check its flux capacitor. Any signs of quantitative easing? Year to date, month to date, compare it to the prior quarter and the millennium previously. Think about your natural talents, your skill level at work or at home. And you have to recognize the decision time. When that first opportunity presents itself, which door are you going to take? I could easily take door number 1. I've got some financial analysis to do. I just send an email to Devin and say, Devin, just tell me what the number has to be. Or I can charge towards the situation and embrace it and get uncomfortable and grow. So that's me in the hard skills. Maybe for you it's the soft skills. And so you can find yourself in a situation when work's overwhelming you. And do you just make a command decision for your team? Or do you figure out what's the best decision for me to be a leader in this situation? So here's my first ask. Let's commit to grow. Can you do that? Networking. Okay, it's kind of a buzzword, so I like to call it relationships. Something Dave just said. And if I wanted it to really reflect our time here at PCBS, this might be a better slide. I feel fortunate to have met every single person that I've met in our class. I can't think of a single person that it hasn't been a pleasure to get to know. That ethics talk from the other day is coming up right now. I don't like Rob. I mean, nobody likes Rob. I'm just kidding. Rob's a great guy. Someone's got to be the victim in every joke. You can't find a more mediocre person than Rob. Why are relationships important? Some of us are going to be in this industry for the rest of our career, maybe others aren't. And so the friendships are great, but each of us have developed now over 200 plus sounding boards. People that I can reach out to in the industry and talk about what I'm working on. Or maybe I just reach out to check in. Or maybe it's one of those moments that I chose the difficult door and I can use some help. So here's my second ask for commitment. Commit to connect. Can you guys do that? You still got to do it. You can't just clap and be like, I didn't even answer. Final area I want to talk about is support. Another thing that you heard everyone talk about. It is important to recognize the support structures that all of us have. My fellow class officers, Dina, Carlos, Sarah, honored to work with them and put on the party that we had this last week. Awesome. You guys can clap, it was a cool party. It's getting emotional. By the way, side note, there might be a GoFundMe page for a bill. Keep a lookout. Thanks to my Leader Sim and Bank Sim members, just quickly want to recognize them here. We were our felons. So there's TA, call him Tommy the Wig. They got Joe, Sticky Fingers, Mark, Slick, Raylin, the Credit Crusher, and Shab, the Iranian giant. I mean, look at her, she's like over 7 feet tall. The third to thank are my fellow Union Bank workers. We were fortunate. I mean, we have Bijan. Is Bijan here? Okay, good. Just making sure Bijan. Bijan, Brandy, Dave, Devin, Heather, Mike, Simon. We formed a network to keep support of each other through the assignments, to talk about them, to commiserate. And that was a great relationship for me because I've met some people in the organization that I would not have met without this experience. And so for some of you, if you didn't have that many people in your institution, I suspect you formed similar study groups and you built those relationships as well. If you didn't, you really made things harder on yourself. Fourth, the PCBS. The staff and faculty are awesome. Wouldn't you agree? Still not going to get me a cord around the neck, but I gave it a shot. They're truly invested in our growth in the industry. They really are. They've modeled some behaviors for us as leaders, constantly asking for feedback about what do we like about the program, what do we think it needs. I mean, that's really, demonstrating the behaviors. So I'm really glad that they do that. Fifth is the people back at work right now. Your boss, the company for putting up the money and the resource, your coworkers, your team who's had to pick up the slack while you've been here. I mean, Tuesday if you're back and you mentioned and someone didn't realize you were gone, that's a different thing. You might just want to say, no, I was here. But definitely brush up the resume. Saving the best for last is family. All of us did 3 years, 2 weeks. That's nearly 6 weeks. Endless hours on our assignments. And in fact, I can tell you that they might be more excited that we're done than we are. You want to know how I know that? My beautiful wife, Ronnie, told me several times. I love you, honey. So thank you for the support to allow us to personally and professionally develop. So let's bring this home. People are like, let's get to the plumbers, Chad, come on. So we talk about our legacy. And here, this says, it's kind of morbid, but I like it. It took millions of years to create something this extraordinary. We have about 74. Some people have a sixth sense of humor like me. What I want you to do, though, is I want you to make the commitment. Support others personally, professionally, both inside and outside your organization. And so here's my final ask. Let's commit to pay it forward. You'll make that commitment, right? Be a better leader, share a skill, mentor. There are several things you can do. Be the agent of change. And if you ever feel small or the lone leader, I want you to remember this. We can alter the face of the world, people. So make that commitment. Congratulations.